Hi, my dear students. I hope you're all fine. Today, we are going to learn a beautiful poem in class 12 metric. A beautiful poem, unit 5. You have a father to his son. A father to his son. It's written by Carl August Sandburg. The gist of the poem is very simple. Father advises his son. So, what kind of advice a father can give to his son? Just imagine. When you hear this word advice, what it comes to your mind? Generally, teens are not ready to listen to advice of the elders. In case they listen to the advice, they will come up very well in their life. So, what kind of advice does this father give? Just we'll see. It is written by Sandburg, August Sandburg, and I show his picture. See, this is his picture, Sandburg. He's an American poet. He's very famous for Chicago poems and Cornhuskers and Smoke and Steel. So he got Pulitzer Prize also. Such a great poet. Let us straight away go to the poem, discuss not only summary but also the figures of speech. See, father, his son. A father sees his son nearing manhood. Child is growing and reaches teens, then becomes adult age. A father sees his son nearing manhood. What does he tell that son? What kind of advice that he can give? That's a big question mark, right? Let us see. As many as 10 advice he gives. Let us see one by one. Life is hard. First one is life is very hard. Life is not so easy for you. Life is very hard. Therefore, be steel, be rock. You have to be very strong like steel and rock. It's a metaphor. You have to be very strong so that you can face the difficulties that come in your way. This might stand him for storms. Storms refer to the difficult times, the challenges and the difficult times one faces in the life. And serve him humdrum monotony. What is humdrum monotony? It's a boring routine. So you have to be very strong to face boring routine also. What is a boring routine? If you want to achieve something, or if you want to clear any kind of examination, you have to work hard. You have to repeatedly do. It's monotonous. Repeatedly, you must keep working hard. Only then you will achieve. Right? Okay. Our next answer. A father to his son. And guide him among sudden betrayals. So, when you are so strong, you can be guided to face sudden betrayals. What is a betrayal? The person whom you trust very much will talk against you one day. That is a betrayal. And tighten him for slack moments. Failures. Slack moments refers to failures and difficult times. Life is a soft loam. What is soft loam? Soft loam is a fertile soil. You think of a fertile soil. Then what happens? When you put good seeds into it, it grows nicely. Otherwise, it cannot be. Right? That is why life is compared to fertile soil. It's a metaphor, right? Therefore, you be gentle. You have to be gentle in your life, and you have to be easygoing. See, go easy. You have to be easygoing. You cannot get anger for even small things. Don't lose temper at small things. This too might serve him. This is also very important. Being gentle and going easy is very important. This is another advice. Because brutes have been gentled. Uncivilized people, brutes, people who cannot change themselves have been gentle. They have changed their behavior because of gentleness, not because of the lashes. Beating with lashes. Okay, so when you're showing great force, a brute cannot change. But when you are affectionate, when you're being very gentle, you can change him. That's the meaning of it, right? Okay, fine. I hope you got that. The growth of frail Frail, very soft. Frail is very soft. Weak flower. In the path up as sometimes shattered split rock and split rock. Small, very, very small plant. It's a flower plant. Sometimes breaks open the rock. So it is an antithesis. If they ask you what is a figure of speech, you write antithesis. Because two opposite ideas are placed together. Like it's a frail flower, but it splits the rock. So opposite ideas are placed together. Opposite words are placed together. We call it oxymoron. Here we see antithesis. A tough will counts. You need to have a very tough will. You need to believe yourself. You should have willpower. So that's very important. So the desire, you need to have a desire. If you want to achieve something, you need to have a desire first. You need to like it first. So that's rich, soft wanting. It should be rich, but soft wanting. What is soft wanting here? It is achievable wanting. It's a reachable goal. It can be reached. The goals should be reached. Unreachable goals will be there. You cannot set those kind of goals. You cannot reach it. Therefore, you must have a reachable goals. Without rich wanting, without desiring, without liking it, nothing comes. If you want to achieve something, you have to like it first, and you have to set your goal. Then you must make a travel towards it. So that is very important. So rich wanting is very important. Rich wanting is setting big goal is very important. Clear? Very good. And next, tell him too much money has killed men. Too much money. If you earn money more than your actual need, that is unnecessary, according to Carl August Sandburg. I left him dead before the burial. Burial is a final death of human being. The actual death. So when you earn money, which is beyond your needs, beyond your actual needs, then you are equivalent to a person who is dead. You are of no use. That means you are of no use. See the third line. The quest means search, seek. But look, when you are earning money by exploiting others in a dishonorable way, you are called dead person. See, you need not have money beyond a few easy needs. You earn money, no problem. You get money, it's not a problem. You work hard and get money, not a problem. But do not heap your money in a dishonorable way. Pile the money, dishonorable way, that's not needed. Because this kind of ill-gotten money, we call it ill-gotten money. Money earned in a wrong way is called ill-gotten money. As twisted good enough man, good men sometimes into dry, thwarted. You hate this worms, right? We all hate worms. When worms are sitting on us, what do? We simply send them away or just brush them away. We never want to touch the worms which we don't like, right? So good men will become a thwarted worms if he has so much of money beyond the easy needs. Beyond easy needs. So money kills a man. In his lifetime, he is called dead. Before his actual death, death is different. But before actual death, he is considered to be dead. And next answer is this, very interesting. See, tell him time as stuff can be wasted. See, this line is very, very controversial according to my consciousness, because we have heard people saying, don't waste time. Time is like a gold. Once lost is lost forever. You will not get it back. So many things are there about time. But here, Carl August Sandburg says, time is a stuff. You just waste it. Time is like other product. You just waste it. He says, waste it. How can we believe this man if he says time can be wasted? See, what he says is, next line, he means a lot. Tell him to be a fool forever so often. Because when you're wasting time, you can be a fool sometimes. Then you have no shame over having been a fool. It means you entertain yourself, you entertain others. In order to entertain others, you have to be full. Sometimes you have to ridicule yourself. Ridiculous activities can be done by you, see. So time can be wasted. Only when the time can be wasted, you understand your mistake. That is what he comes to say in this stanza. Yet learning something out of every folly. It's a mistake, right? Folly is what? Mistake. Folly is mistake. So we commit lot of mistakes when we are wasting time, when we are foolishly doing activities. We are wasting time. So we make mistake, but hoping to repeat none of the cheap follies. Never repeat that mistake. Of course, to err is human. You all know this. When you make any mistake, please see that that mistake is not repeated, particularly the cheap mistakes. Mistakes that should not be done, I shouldn't have done. That kind of mistake should never happen in your life again. So, from every mistake, learn a lesson. This is what he wants to say. Thus, arriving in intimate understanding of a world numbering many fools, this world has seen several fools like us. So they have achieved so many things. So initially they were foolish, finally they achieved so many things. Tell him to be alone. You got to be alone, separate, lonely, and often get at himself. You understand yourself when you're sitting separately, when you're living separately, when you're thinking about you separately or lonely. You can understand yourself. Self-understanding is very important. He says you have to understand yourself. When will you understand yourself? You will understand only when you are alone. Think about yourself. And above all, tell himself no lies about himself. Do not tell any lies. Do not lie. Don't lie. Don't tell lies. Never tell lie about yourself, but for others, to save others, like Thiruvalluvar, he says, you can tell white lies to protect you and protect your friends. What are the white lies? And protect your friends, you can tell a little bit of lie in order to protect others, in order to make others happy. That's very important, okay? He says, never tell no lies about yourself. Be truthful to you and the people around you, but for others, to protect others. Because when somebody asks you, we say, are you okay? We say, yeah, I'm all right. Are you all right? Yes, I'm all right. We say, that's a lie, of course. So we want to please others. To please others, we can tell lie. So you may use against other people. Of course, you can use that for other people. Tell him solitude is creative. Solitude is being lonely is creative. When you want to be creative, you have to be living in solitude. You have to sit alone. You have to be lonely. Only then you will be creative if he is strong. The final decisions are made in silent room. This is very important. My favorite line is this. This is my favorite line because he says final decisions are made in silent rooms. See, what is that? Silent room. You see, silent room is transferred epithet. Silent room is transferred epithet. What is the figure of speech? Transferred epithet, because epithet is transferred. Room is non-living, but adjective, human adjective is given to non-living room. So therefore it's a transferred epithet. What does this line mean? You should not take decisions when you're anxious, when you're angry, and when you are imbalanced. You have to take all the decisions in your life only when you're calm, when you're peaceful situation, you're in a peaceful situation. That is what he says. See, decisions are made in silent rooms. It is not about room. It's about the anxious moments, the angry moments. When you're angry, never take any decisions, right? You have already heard this because many people have said this. I'm also telling, and the poet is also telling, never take any decisions when you're anxious or when you're angry. So tell him to be different from other people. You got to be different from other people. When everybody is sleeping 6 o'clock, you just wake up at 4 o'clock or 3:30 and work hard. When everybody is doing something else, you just try something new. So tell him to be different from other people. So it becomes natural and easy being different. When you are, it's for some people, being different is quite natural for them. So don't worry about it. So if you're naturally different from others, that's not a problem at all. Okay, so do not follow everyone's way. Take different way. Think differently. Do things differently. Let him have a lazy days. You need to have a lazy days. What's a lazy days? This is also transferred epithet. Lazy days. They cannot be lazy, but we say human adjective is given to day, therefore it's a transferred epithet. Figure of speech is transferred epithet. Never forget. This is very important because sometimes it is asked. Okay, fine. So seeking is deeper motive. You have to seek your deeper motive in lazy days. Then entertainment. When you're sitting lonely, you think about yourself. Let him seek a deep for where he is born natural. We are all born natural. So we have to think why we are born. Why am I born? What is the purpose of being born in this world? Is there any objective or aim or goal to be fulfilled? Why am I born in this world? You have to think about it, and because we are all born natural, we are all going to die naturally. Therefore, we have to think about why. What is the purpose of our life, of being born here? So then you may understand Shakespeare. Take Shakespeare as the greatest dramatist in this world, you all know, right? These people are intellectual, great Wright brothers, Louis Pasteur, Pablo, Michael Faraday. I'll show you the picture also. So free imagination. So you have to understand, you have to read books of several people. You know what happens when you read several books? You will get the capacity of solving any kinds of problems that you face in your life. So read Shakespeare. It means read several intellectuals books of intellectuals, and Wright brothers. Who are Wright brothers? The people who found out, discovered the flight, right? And Louis Pasteur and Pablo, great philosophers. Louis Pasteur and Pablo and Michael Faraday, the father of electricity and magnetism. So read every book. Read all these people's book about free imagination, right? And free imagination. You will understand a lot of things in your life. So keep reading your book. See the picture. The Pablo and Louis Pasteur and Wright brothers, Michael Faraday. Wright brothers, Michael Faraday, right? Okay. Then the last stanza. We are at last stanza. It's very easy to understand. Bringing changes into your world. Resenting change. You have to bring changes into this world. Right? But the world does not want to change. They resent means they does not want to change. They never want to change. But you have to change it. When you're advising someone, when you're instructing someone, when you're instructing, for example, keep your room clean, keep your house clean, keep your road clean. When you say something, people are not ready to follow you. But you have to keep changing it. Bringing changes in the world, resenting change is very important. This world is not ready to change. But you keep changing it. They'll follow all old paths and myths and superstitious beliefs and all these things. This world is like that, but you try to change. And you will be lonely. Third time he tells, you got to be lonely. Only when you're lonely, you'll understand certain things. To have time for the work, you are lucky to work for time, work for recreation, work for any other activity. You need to have a kind of schedule that will help you eventually to achieve your goal in your life. See, he knows as his own. You must understand, this time is mine, this time is allocated for this time is allocated for play, this time is allocated for reading. So you must understand your timing, understand your goal, and you have to set your goal, and you have to start your journey towards reaching that goal. Finally, he says, this is the last answer. Okay. Finally, he says, you have to follow this kind of advice and you must come up in your life, right? Thank you very much for watching this poems summary. Keep watching for more videos like this. Thank you very much.